friends. Hello, hello. It is a gorgeous day today. And I've actually been in the process this week of starting to harden off lots of different things. I just do it slowly. My cabbages went into the ground yesterday and they all hardened off quite well. I had a couple broken branches. Or just leaves, but all should be fine there. And now I'm bringing all of my ranunculus out that I started inside my I call it my sunroom greenhouse. It's really basically like a cold frame, essentially. My sweet peas I'm hardening off. I'll do sweet peas. I've done actually several places where I have just sweet peas in the ground, but I'm now getting all of those ready to go out probably this weekend because those are all cold weather things. They took the last barely frosty morning out of the forecast. So this is still early for us, but my cold weather stuff should be good. I'm not putting tomatoes in the ground. I'm not putting sunflowers in the ground. I'm not doing anything just my cold weather things. So I thought before I start that process, I should show you how here I have made this sunroom work as a makeshift greenhouse. This is our second full season, and we have started by seed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I wish I would have counted plants. And we are Garden Zone 5B, and we have done it without all this. This is a 3 seasons room with south facing windows. We've been able to manage our legginess by rotating our plants sometimes more than one time a day. We make it work by opening windows, closing windows, bringing a heater in. I have one heat mat, that's all I have, and it's worked. So I want to encourage people that are in cold garden zones that you can do this even with window light. These are my green stalks that I overwintered a bunch of herbs. So now I have nasturtium in here. I have cilantro in here, a row of oregano, a row of parsley, and then I even put some ranunculus down at the bottom. Here I have my chocolate mint that I overwintered, which tastes delightful. I did some sweet peas, a few lettuces, those will come out shortly. And we did a little bit of basil and a couple other things. The bottom rows are not planted other than just grass that's, seeds fell in there. I am so looking forward to this year trying to overwinter even more herbs because they did so fantastic. We had parsley all year, we had oregano all year. We had sweet marjoram, which I just grow for the smell of it because it's beautiful. And I had a little bit of lemon thyme. So I'm going to pack that thing full for this coming winter. Okay, so Willow is going to be thinning to some of these out. These are some of her flowers today. This is all of our basil that will be getting planted into the ground when it's ready, and I will just separate those. Tomatoes, lots of tomatoes, lots more tomatoes. I don't remember how many I'm growing this year, but it's a lot. More flowers. Sunflowers will definitely be ready. I had to up pot 2 trays of them because they weren't thriving in what they were in. So I won't start these quite as early next year. What do we have here? These are our asters in celosia. The asters have done fantastic. The celosia has done really well. But then the flamingo feather celosia has not done well. As far as germination, I only have a very small handful. Just interesting. This is my eucalyptus and snapdragons. Those are doing great. Those take a very long time. Then we have more herbs which are popping up. Those will go into the ground. I'm in no hurry because I have tons of those going. What do we have here? More snapdragons. Those are just decent this year. Sunflowers, more sunflowers. They did fantastic. The peppers finally started coming alive as well, and they're doing really, really great. I've talked a little bit about celery and how long it took this year. I had to reseed some and it is doing fantastic now. So celery takes a bit. These won't be ready. Some of them, I have a few, very small handful that will be ready to go out when it's time. Other ones, I'll just give them a little bit more time. The heat pad has been helping with those. And then same for my lettuces. They're doing great. They're on the heat pad. Actually, I don't even have that on right now. These lettuces will go out today. They like the cold. The ranunculus will get ready to go out over there as well. Not in the ground yet, just getting them ready. More sunflowers. This is more lettuce, more ranunculus. Where's my more sweet peas? Actually, wait, these are all of my peppers. I think I was showing you tomatoes over there. But anyway, these peppers have done really well last year, except for these guys. And I'm not sure what went on here. I only have one. These guys look fantastic. These guys look great. These guys look great. And last year, my peppers did not do well by seed. It's a little bit harder to grow peppers here. And then these are all of our dahlias. We do dahlias by seed here, not by tuber, until our ground we can continue to figure out our soil more and more. I'm really excited about these tomatoes this year. I'm doing some Tiny Tim tomatoes and some spoon tomatoes. Okay, I'm back. It's a little bit later. My phone ended up dying and I needed to go. Woo! It is literally so windy today that if I do not have that strap hooked, you guys, my hat would have flown a mile away. Okay, I'm going to keep on showing you how we're doing the greenhouse. I mean, how we're making this work in a cold climate with one directional light. Okay, so do you see how these sunflowers are starting to reach towards the window just a bit? Very, very common. My cat actually grabbed a couple, or I don't think those will make it, which is very common when you have one directional light. So every day I'm in here and I'm just rotating them. Sometimes these will be close to the window. Sometimes these will. The tomatoes are doing fantastic. This is the second year in a row I've not had an issue with leggy tomatoes. Now don't get me wrong, they will be ready to get out of their containers, but it is working, and our tomato plants last year were amazing. Here's the other thing that I'm doing all the time. I'm always just coming through and just kind of touching them to, right now I have so many of the windows open, which is encouraging their roots to dig a little bit deeper. But you would do that in any type of greenhouse. Now my sunflowers, I have no idea. Okay, so I did a test round. Oh, let me finish my thought here. What I was gonna say was, I have no idea if I will start sunflowers again in our climate like this. I just don't know. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is the first year that I've done this. We grew lots of sunflowers last year. This is the first year I've started them. They're doing fine in here. However, I did a test round. The other night I planted just 4 seedlings out. They're plenty big, ready to go out. And it got down into the 40s. Only 2 survived. 2 the next morning were just totally done. So I'm not going to repot them anymore either. So they're going to have to either sink or swim, so to speak. We'll just see how they do. They have about 2 more weeks to wait in here. This is also why they're not outside right now. Let me show you how I've moved this time of year for hardening off purposes, but also for just moving things outside into to an outside greenhouse, not a greenhouse, and just into outside growing conditions. Let me show you what I just did. I brought all of my pots out. These 2 were overwintered with herbs. I think I had already pointed out, this is a ranunculus. This is a ranunculus, more overwintered herbs. These are just my roses, which are going to be just gorgeous this year. All of my peonies are doing amazing, except for one little guy. And I can't tell, I think a bunny. Actually, I don't have bunnies really around here because of our dog. So it could have just been the weather. It'll come back. Okay, so we have this entire area. I've talked about this before. This whole area is going to be eventually ripped out. It's an absolute weed pit, except for the most gorgeous lilac bush and some daffodils. Those red bushes, I can't remember the name of them. They're beautiful in the fall, but in the fall, this will be completely overtaken with weeds. Anyway, I just wanted to explain that to you, so as you're looking, wondering what is all of this in here, it's just all weeds. So I just brought out all of the cold crops in particular. So my lettuces, my sweet peas, my ranunculus, some of my herbs, and I'm just gonna give them a little bit of time out here today. They won't be here out all day, except for my herbs are not ready to be out here all day because it is windy. But the ranunculus will be out all day, and so will my sweet peas. So this is another thing that you can do once your weather turns. Now, I can't leave these out overnight. Let me go back into my sunroom greenhouse a minute to say this. I cannot leave my herbs out overnight because they're not all cold hardy and they're not ready for it yet. They've not been hardened off since they started in here. My ranunculus, I will start leaving out overnight, and my sweet peas, I will start leaving out overnight very, very soon. And they'll do that for a couple of days, and then I'll just be ready to get them in the ground. So my point of showing you all of this is to show you what's possible in what is considered to be a colder gardening zone if you have south-facing windows. Now, I know most people don't have a room this big. The crazy part is, you guys, this room is not in great shape. In fact, it eventually will have to be probably torn down and rebuilt. It leaks water in here, but like I said, this doesn't go inside to our home. This is just a sunroom area. And then yesterday, you guys, I found a snake in here. I'm not kidding. It was just a little garter snake, but it was still enough to scare the you-know-what out of me. So anyway, but no matter what type of south-facing windows you have, you can make something like this work, and you can just set up a couple tables. Maybe you just set up one. It's temporary. You don't do it for very long. Most people aren't growing the scale that we're growing for our CSA and other families and whatnot. So if you're growing only for yourself and you just want to start a few tomato plants, a couple pepper plants, maybe some flowers, herbs, things like that, you can save yourself so much money if you just have a single south-facing window. So anyway, this is what's happening right now in the greenhouse. Things are finishing up and they will be ready to go out into the real world very soon. Okay, so I just wanted to show you like what really is possible, and I hope that it feels encouraging to you. And let me show you. Yeah, you can have one. You might want to take a smaller one here. Riggs wants to try a nasturtium. He likes peppery things, spicy things. Do you like it? Yeah. You probably wouldn't want a whole bowl of it, but like on top of a salad with your delicious ranch dressing. So this is a Northern Gardener's sunroom turned greenhouse that is working very, very well. And I'm so excited. I am so excited to get these things into the soil. I'm so excited for the hardening off process to be done. And that's when like the craziness but amazingness also starts. And look what's going on up there, the sheep. They actually already made it into my greenhouse just a bit ago. And one of them may or may not have tried to sneak into my girls' room. Look at all the garlic, it's looking so good. I just planted, this bed is full of onions and that far bed is full of onions as well. Okay, one thing I will tell you, if you're ever interested in attempting to start sunflowers by seed, inside they will need food. I've had to definitely, once they sprouted and they got their first set of leaves, it was probably within that week that I could tell there was some yellowing in just a few of the seedlings leaves, which means they just need more nourishment. So I've had to, every few days, I'll give them just a little bit to keep those leaves strong. So it was definitely a risk for me this year. Not even a risk. I mean, it wasn't like I did a ton. I think I've started about 300 of them. And I just have no idea what's gonna happen. But I will tell you, if you are interested in starting them by seed, something you'll want to take into consideration. Jason and I, we talk and dream of having a much larger greenhouse that we can start even more in and possibly even grow year-round in, or attempt to. But I will tell you, I will miss this space. We're not going to be doing it right now. We're not going to probably be doing it even in the next year. But this space has proven to me that I'm shutting my doors because the sheep are trying to get in here. It's shown me what truly is possible if you adjust, if you are willing to attempt new things, to try new things, if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to come down here when you water, rotate your plants. It's not like, sure, in a greenhouse, would you have to rotate? No, probably not. But I mean, it takes me less than 5 minutes. It just shows me that there is so much possibility when we can make do and learn to make do with what we have. So I'm not in any hurry to change this. I'm not in any hurry to even get more shelving and whatnot in here, because we have made so much work. We've made so much work out here that I'm just really proud of it. I'm proud of what we started, and that now, 2 years in, thousands of seedlings have grown in this space, and it's worked and they've thrived. So be encouraged. Even if you have just a window in your home that is south-facing, put something in there if that's something that you want to try, and just see what happens. Be willing to make mistakes. Be willing to say, oh, these sunflowers may not grow once I transplant them. It's okay. Be willing to just try and attempt and adjust and bend and just watch. You'll be reminded that seeds want to grow and how glorious that is. So anyway, this was the greenhouse tour. I think my sheep are gone now.
Oh, they're right here.
Oh, they are? Okay. This was probably the final little greenhouse tour before things start going out in a couple of weeks. I hope you feel encouraged. I hope you feel like, yeah, let's just try something. And now just wait and see how things explode once they get into the ground. Oh, really quick update too on the cabbages that I planted yesterday. All of them survived the night, which I knew that they would thrive this evening. It looks like every single one, for the most part. I might have one that still is in just a touch of shock. All of them survived the shock, and their leaves are starting to adjust. So, the transplant shock is very real. It's going to happen, but they will rebound and they will adjust. So anyway, just thought I would put that out there. And yeah, happy gardening. I hope you all have a glorious day. It is absolutely perfect here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And my sheep are eating my weeds.